after having taken the jet ski out on a little fishing trip that yielded no fish, I did discover that just putting fishing poles down these footwells absolutely sucks, along with putting your bait, your tackle boxes, everything. It's just everything's in the way. So obviously I need to make me a fishing rack, fishing pole rack back here. So that'll go right back here. This is what I'm going to use. I need to build a rack that will accommodate this Coleman ice chest and a gas tank. A gas tank is for whenever I'm going offshore out in the Gulf of Mexico on long trips. Also, I've got a couple of regular PVC material rod holders here. Lots of PVC pipe with T's and elbows. So I'm going to throw this stuff up here on the back of the jet ski and see what it's going to take to build a rack back here. That way I get all my gear out of my way and out from underfoot. I thought that I could just put the stuff up here. What the heck? Okay, I thought I could put the stuff under here. Lots of room, but it is a long ways from that front seat over the handlebars and down there in the bottom. So this is probably going to be more like emergency stuff that gets stowed down in there. Now you do have some storage under the back seat. It's a little difficult to lift this up, pull that lever and lift up, setting up here on the seat. Back here obviously it's a cinch, but there is some storage space up here, but not a whole lot. But with a fishing rack back here, we're going to solve a lot of our problems. So anyways, let's see where I can go with this. Okay, first you lay everything out, kind of like a rough draft. Lay everything out the way you think you want it. I think I'm just going to go with one spare gas tank. Rod holders, on the other hand, I may move these for storage purposes back here. But I do know the rods I'm going to be trolling with, I want them as close to my hands as possible. So what I may do is I may mount these at an angle like this. That way I can reach them easily. And then the rods that I'm not using will be stowed back here, mounted to PVC pipe. So anyways, I've got some thinking to do on this. So I'm going to move things around a little bit, stare at it, study it, and figure out exactly what's going to be the best. And then I'll start cutting and fitting PVC pipe together. See how it all looks. I'll dry fit it all together first before I start pulling out the glue. It's also very important to look where your anchor points are. I've got one right here in the center, and I have two on either side over here. Alright, I'm starting to dry fit everything together. I went and picked up 4-way fittings, 4 of them here, and I'm just going to slowly work my way around this, starting at the bottom, and then I'll do the verticals and figure out where I want the top ring basically to go on this thing. And once I get all that figured out, then I'll work on getting these rod holders mounted. So anyways, just a slow process, taking my time with it, make sure I don't jack anything up. Alright, getting a little closer. Now I think I'm ready for my vertical uprights and get ready for the top side ring. It's going to go around just below the lid here. It's going to go somewhere in this area. Okay, there's a reason you dry fit this stuff. I made things a little tight on the allowances. On the sides here, it fits perfectly, but if I was going to try to pull this ice chest out, it wouldn't work, because when the top rail comes in here, it's going to be somewhere about there, and obviously that's not going to work. So this bar right here It's got to be pulled out, and I'll cut one that's a couple inches longer. And that should move these out to where I can slide this ice chest in and out of this frame without too much difficulty. That's pretty much the frame. I'm going to go ahead and get some 1-inch caps to put on the bottom here, just so it doesn't scuff things up too bad. Now I need to figure out where I want these. Okay, we're back at it again. Got my nuts and bolts, my bottom caps for the legs down here, and some aluminum stock here, 1/8 inch thick. I believe it's 1.5 inches wide, which is perfect. These are the rod holders for the trolling. Got the aluminum plate down with holes drilled in it. I still have to drill the holes into the PVC pipe, but that's probably gonna happen after I glue this entire frame up. I want this all glued up nice and tight, and then I'll start mounting these rod holders on here. Okay, when pulling this stuff apart and re-gluing it back up, be really careful with it, because if you get the angles wrong, stuff can go sideways real quick on you. So I'm going to be using a level when I try to re-stick this stuff on here. You can see right there, I thought that was straight up and down, but it wasn't. Alright. So just take your time with this stuff when putting it back together. Quick and easy way to make sure these two elbows line up perfectly. Just have one 90-degree already seated in there. Get ready for the next one. You slide it all the way in, push them down on flat concrete like that, and they should be sitting at a perfect 90-degree angle. It won't be all twisted or anything like that. Okay, it's roughed in. Everything's mounted. Got my trolling rod holders back here, and then my storage rod holders on the very back. I'm probably going to replace a few of the bolts. Some of the bolts are too long. Some are just about right. Some of them are too long, so I'll remove those, replace them with some shorter ones. Okay, and there's what the ice chest sitting in there. Even with the long bolts, it still doesn't rub up against the ice chest. Alright, might go ahead and cinch this down now and put some rods on there and just see how they look. Okay, I decided to bring it out of the barn since I've got a couple of the white boats in there. Everything was kind of blended and blurring together. So on the back I have my 6500 series spin fisher pin reels, and up here on the trolling rod holders I've got my little 4000 pin battle twos. And of course I can interchange them out depending on what I'm wanting to fish for. But I think that's going to work pretty good. Keeps everything out of the way until I need it. Easy access to the ice chest. But I'll sand this PVC pipe down and then I'll give it a paint job. Alright, I'm liking the looks of that.